Hello, Brave Awakened Ones. This is Veronica of Higher Realm Holistics, Lady V. Thank you, supporters, subscribers, and Patreons. Please share these videos with those who you think it might resonate with. If you're interested in any of my services, books, merch, t-shirts, webinars, sessions, and higher realm magic information and meditations, please visit higherrealmholistics.com. Grand Rising, Brave Awakened Ones. What's up? QV here. It is the 17th of April, Friday. I'm on the East Coast of America, Miami region, if you'd like, Miami Beach. And this is an NRV. As you can see, I have major dark circles under my eyes. Hasn't been sleeping much, been sleeping weird, in and out of stuff. I didn't know I'd still be doing the whole timeline and remote viewing thing. But here I am, here I is. Okay, firstly, I want to make a public service announcement. I am working on a project. It's for light workers. I'm going to open it to light workers when I first finish it, okay? When it's first launched, and then I'll open it to the general public. I did talk to a couple of people here and there about it, so please don't mention it. If I did tell you, do not mention it. Do not ask me about it. Don't say, oh, you're doing this, lady. Yeah. I'll delete your comment for real, because I don't want to be flooded right now because I don't know what the deal is with my funding. I have to see how the funding is going to come through. So that is the first thing I'm going to be working on. My oversoul finally revealed to me, since I guess I'm done with the part of my job of laid down my sword, so now I could pick up my wand so I could do my creativity stuff. So I am working on something for light workers, okay, and then it'll be open up to the general public. So yeah, FYI to other master build dolls out there, your entrepreneurs, those who've had businesses and signed up for the CARES Act, the CARES package. I did too. When it first came out, it was like a few days later I signed up, and then it went through really quick, less than 48 hours. But then yesterday I received a notice saying because the money ran out that everything's on hold now for me. So, but the reason why I'm saying this to you guys, just in case some of you entrepreneurs did that, I did do a reading on it. And what I received was the Five of Wands. Okay, so you know Five of Wands is about fighting, but it's almost like mock fighting, disagreements between groups, bickering, hard negotiation, okay? But the final outcome was the Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. So that's pretty freaking awesome, okay? And the Hierophant also was there. We did have the Devil in reverse. So no worries, everything's going to be okay. You'll get your funding, okay? So I'm like, okay, cool, because I had to ask. All right, so let's get on with the show, all right? Firstly, last night I did come on because I received a notice on my phone that I showed you guys. I made this video, right? I made this video last night showing you guys what I got on my phone. And there was a nice little countdown and everything, and bam, came on the video. And yes, I do know it is connected to his, right here, to this. Okay, his Donald J. Trump YouTube channel. But the reason why, that was the first time I ever got a notice on my phone. And I signed up for this a couple of years ago, actually. So that was the first time I ever got a notice over my phone. And again, with my phone, I signed up for his alerts 2 years ago. So the reason why it came over the phone is because when the social media goes down, that's the way you're going to get the alerts. That's the way you're going to get what's going on. So I do suggest you sign up. You do not have to be a Trump fan to, like I said, I grew up in a Trump New York, and then I moved down here to Miami Beach, and my view of the beach disappeared within a 5-year period due to his buildings popping up with his name on it. So I wasn't a fan of the man. I was very angry, to say the very least. You might have called me never Trumper, okay? But then my oversoul was like, oh, he's not what you think. And I was like, what? You got to be kidding me. And that when he was doing that stuff, he wasn't awakened to his full knowing, understand who and what he was. He wasn't awakened to that yet. But then he was eventually. So I suggest you sign up for it. So when social media goes black, that you have it. All right. And just know, yeah, that's it. I just want to make sure you guys know that. All right. So real quick, the Shuman Hat does have something to do with it. So I want to cover this real quick. Here's the Shuman, right? And I know Wages World's like, you know, I follow him. He's real good. I've posted some of his videos, you know, to help explain stuff because, again, I'm just a novice. So I look to people like him and Dutch Sense and Suspicious Observer and others, you know. So this is something I learned in college. I'm picking up again. So, you know, this is the 7.83 hertz up here, the normal heartbeat of Earth, right? That's the 3D vibration. This is the vibration used to maintain 3D. And I told you guys, all these spikes and stuff, you know, go back to all my videos talking about this. I started doing this in December, late December, okay, when we had to ground in the Sophia Christos energy to balance out the divine masculine energy, and yeah, so on and so forth. And here's sorry about that. And here's that 17 mark. We all know 17 stands for Q. And what that 17 code, you see it looks like Morse code. The 17 code over here, what it signifies is the crossover. This is the 3D frequency. Here is the 4D frequency. The 4D frequency that was allowing those 4D beings to control Earth with a 3D frequency, okay? And what we did is we took all that crap down, okay? And this is the crossover point into higher 4D and 5D, which Wage made a video this morning. He's like, I can't understand. That's okay. He's a normie. He's adorable. So that's okay that he doesn't get it. But, and like, here's the mark right here. another code right there to show you. Code. And he's saying this is not going away because, yeah, we used to see would come with the spikes and then it would disappear on the actual charting itself. But as light workers who were tuned to it, we were always able to tap into that energy. But now the energy's here to stay. And you don't have to agree. Again, if this doesn't resonate with you. That's cool. You can come back later and it just might, like it does for a lot of people. Then I get a lot of apologies because they get very angry with me and call me a lot of really nasty, mean names. Any which ways. So these frequencies are maintaining now, the higher frequencies. And the way it was shown to me is Earth is going to be a higher 4D, 5D place. It used to be 3D and lower and mid 4D because the higher rules the lower, right? Hermetics, look it up because this is what those beings have been using for eons to control Earth and to control humans and everything on Earth. They've been using hermetics, basic principles of the divine universe. I did a whole bunch on hermetics back in 2019, 2018. Please go back and you will find that. Thoth is the one who guided me through it, okay? The higher rules the lower. So those are the principles. They've been using the divine universal principles and twisting them and using it against us, okay? But now as light workers, we flip that script. We flip that script hard. We made that pendulum swing the other direction to the positive, okay? And the humans the normies and some light workers, well, call themselves light workers, trying to push them over that 50 percentile to get to that 51% positive. So again, also look over the one, right? Rule of one videos. Okay. So it's a service to self, service to others. Get them over that 51% mark. So it's well established. Higher 4D, 5D is well established, not going anywhere. We got these frequencies on a lockdown. Very good. Get a tongue pop in there for those who know what I'm talking about. Okay. So the Shuman went up to 20. Alrighty. Now, there were some very suspicious, again, I refer to Wages World, and his buddy Scott. There were two Sammys that popped off both sides of the sun. Usually, and I've spoken about this before, now this happened a few days ago, which could explain why all the earthquakes in the past, like a little more than 24 hours, that's like 30 hours, a lot of heavy earthquakes going on here. So as you can see, yes, this is Earth. Earth does get hit by the CME. Okay, both. So it goes off on both ends, exactly parallel, and it looks like the same strength. Now here's the dealio. And plus there's an extra circle over here, which Wage has not been able to figure out. He's like, I don't know what caused this but I know I've studied this and I've seen this before. When a CME pops off on one side, it pops off directly on the other side. It's like an earthquake. It's like the energy reverberates through. It comes out on both ends, just like an earthquake. If you see a huge earthquake happen on one side of the earth, you could like draw a line through the center of the earth to the other side, and there'll be another earthquake. It doesn't have to be the same magnitude, but it's like a straight line almost. So I did ask to see what happened here. And remember, I've had a flood of emails asking me about Comet Atlas. I said, Comet Atlas is burning up. Ain't nothing gonna happen with Comet Atlas. I know there's another comet coming in, and the way it showed to me, I was like, oh my God, what? This was a few days ago. I was like, I don't want to talk about this. I laid down my dang sword, but it has nothing to do with my sword. The other comet that's coming in right now on the same track as Comet Atlas, I forgot the name of it. Literally, it's like and my oversoul was like humorous about it. It's like, yeah, they're flinging rocks at you guys, literally. And I was shown outside the solar system, this huge ship with these draconian beings, and they're capturing these asteroids and they're throwing them into our solar system, man. I was like, what the deuce? Because, our solar system is blocked. I wish there was a name for our solar system. Our solar system is blocked off. I'll call it the Solaris solar system, okay? Our Solaris solar system is blocked up. It's been quarantined since those dark beings came here and was wreaking havoc. So nothing can get in, nothing can get out. But they're like directing with their beams, these tractor beams, I suppose. They direct them and literally like flinging. It's like those catapults. It's like they're catapulting rocks at us. They're trying to get more precise though. No worries. We have protection. Space Force is out there. As you can see, if you look at that Trump video, you'll see for one of the first thing he shows is Space Force, which is so cool. And I need to check to see if that's Kobe. I'm going to go look right now. So, yeah, they're hurling rocks at us. And what I was shown, this is like, think of somebody throwing a pebble or a heavy rock in water, and how you see the ripples and reverberates. It goes out in all directions. This is what happened to the sun. I was shown this is what caused off this blast off. It's not necessarily a CME. It's picked up as one, but it's not necessarily a CME. I was shown it's like because Atlas is not too far from the sun, and the sun's burning up, and there's pieces, and it was apparently a big piece that impacted the sun, and that's what caused it to go. It's like ripples of water. Okay. Now, to prove that, there's a lot of shady stuff going on with NASA hiding stuff, look at this. Seeds is still down. It has been down since the 7th. You can't access anything. They're hiding stuff. They're hiding everything. And then on top of that, okay, when the CME popped off, there are 8 hours missing off of stereo A. 8 hours missing. Why? Look, you could tell, right? I showed you guys when you see that brightness. Boom, you see that here and there. Here and there. It pops off at the same time. See? And then that skip, that's an 8 hours, that's an 8 hours missing. Look, here's the CME. It's starting bright, bright, bright. Poof, it pops off. Look, and it jumps. The minute the CME hits, it jumps. Look at the time again. See how the time jumps. 7, 10. Boom. It moves to the next day. They're hiding it. They're freaking hiding it. You can see it here. Look, here, and there. Here and there. And then it jumps. That flash, it jumps. That is not, I repeat, not equipment failure or human error, nothing. It is hiding information. Look, they don't want us to see what they're doing. And yes, the deep state and cabal down here, they've been cut off from their masters. Their masters are out there, but still trying to like I said, the Luciferian rule is they don't stop until the last one drops. This is why we have to take them out. They don't stop until the last one drops. They're going to keep going and throwing stuff, literally throwing stuff at us. But again, we already won the last battle. It is done. Relax. We already won the last battle. Whew. Oh gosh, my tummy just did a jump because this is the NRV and this is really important. Extreme. We know a lot of earthquakes have popped off in the past 30 hours. A lot. High ones like 5s and 4s. Even in Idaho, still going on over there, and a 5 point something hit Alaska too. This is the one the NRV was about. Now here's how the NRV started. It was Archangel Michael. I was like, it was Trump, the back of his head with his suit and the white collar of the shirt. Oh shoot, sorry about that, guys. Go away. So it's like Trump was here and I saw the back of his head and he was looking over. It was like he was standing on top of a hill or a mountain and it was an island and he was looking over on it. And here was Trump and here was me and Archangel Michael. And like, Trump was standing, but like we were floating. And then I saw Archangel Michael go like this and drop his sword. And then came a flood of angels, a flood. It was like, they're like wet beams. And it was like they were like shooting white light from them. It was like, and it was the principality angels that watched over this region that I work very closely with, especially for Haiti. As you guys know, this is where I was born. Bam, right over here. So, any which ways, it was a flood of angels that came barreling in to this region right here. As you could see, here's the Gulf of Mexico. Here's the Caribbean Sea. Go back to my other videos. I spoke about the Caribbean Sea and South America and Central America, major human trafficking hub. And remember I told you Trump has some very important decisions to make. I hope I make the right decisions. And I said one of them has to do with, do I close things off by flattening a place? Do I hold off? What do I do? That was as the head of the military. That was, and the head of the Q movement, the head of the alliance here on Earth. He had to make that decision, okay? So Archangel Michael was right there, dropped that sword. The principality angels just came flooding in. And with the lights booming, and I'm going to tell you why and what happened. Here we go. Doesn't look like there's much there, right? But we're talking about these islands, these group of islands right here. This might get emotional. We're talking about these group of islands. And remember, he said that he has military ship with smuggling going on and trafficking going on, heavy trafficking going on in the Caribbean Sea. Trump spoke about that. Now here's why the 6.0 magnitude earthquake happened there. It was the angels. They were flattening the place. And what I saw was, it was like we're standing looking over here, looking into the valley. And when you go into one of these mountains, just like Epstein's Island, you would see a little bunker, one of those entry points into the mountain. Okay. Let me blow this up. Like we were like standing up here or something, and like you could see into the valley, and this is one of the islands, one of the bigger ones. And then you see an entry point, just like, you know, hidden underground tunnel, just like on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Here's the heavy part about this island. It's not just like Epstein's island. I was told it is a seasoning island, major seasoning point for anyone. Again, here's the group of islands right here for you guys to see. This is the group of islands where the earthquake hit. Okay? Looks very beautiful, right? Caribbean Sea is amazing. So I'm going to tell you guys what seasoning means. And look at this bastardized definition. You know, they like to twist history. Seasoning is attached to slavery, colonialism, slavery. Slave trading, okay? That's what seasoning is. And yeah, seasoning or the seasoning is a term applied to the period of adjustment that was undertaken by African slaves and European immigrants. This is what bothers me. This is the twisting of history and how they're trying to use, you know, white people bad thing, you know, that whole garbage. It wasn't just African slaves, okay? There were plenty of white people from Europe, of course, nowhere near the number of the Africans, but there were plenty of white folks that were slaves. They were not immigrants. No immigrant went through seasoning, okay? These were people who were, some of them were criminals, some of them just owed money, didn't pay taxes, were poor, and were sold into slavery, okay? They were slaves too. They were slaves too. In fact, I'm descendant from one of them. They are slaves too. One of the first ones. Oh, I don't want to go into my family tree history. Very interesting. They were slaves too, by the way. Okay? They were sold into slavery because they owed money. They owed taxes. Some of them were criminals. Okay? So this is BS. Immigrants. Just like the illegal ones coming over the border, right? Trafficking women and kids. They're called immigrants, right? No, they're called illegals, illegal aliens. And this is coming from a legal alien, all right? So they were not immigrants. They were slaves also. Following the first attack of tropical disease during the colonization of the Americas. All right. I'm going to give you a better definition of seasoning. Okay, in slavery, international slave trade began with a period of seasoning. That's how it began. They would bring them over, right, in the slave ships. Many died on the way over from all the crazy diseases, especially smallpox, that they never had to deal with. The period for about a year or so, usually it was actually less than a year, because I took Caribbean studies in college. So when he either succumbed, he or she and children succumbed to the disease environment of the New World or survived it. That was the whole deal. And it was a lot more than just succumbing to the disease or not. They would beat them, torture them, and yeah, work them out to see who is the strongest, see where they can get the most money for. Many slave islands on the North American mainland before the, sorry, I lose my breath on this, it gets to me, maintained before the early 13th century had already survived the seasoning. Okay, so that's seasoning is when they would bring the slaves, black and white, over from Europe and from other parts of the world to the Caribbean area, the Caribbean Sea area, okay, and pick up some more slaves when they're the Caribbean. And this area, these islands, were part of the seasoning islands, okay? Haiti was a seasoning spot, Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, all those islands. And I did not know this about these islands. I really did not. I had no freaking clue that Honduras over here they were seasoning islands also. So what happened with that earthquake was Trump said, okay. Archangel Michael said, okay. The angels came in and it was like blast. So that's what happened. Again, whether you believe me or not, that's completely up to you. That's your gig. That's on you. Okay. So I hope you guys were able to see all that. But yeah, so that's the NRV. And I was told that that was it. That they're done blasting underground bunkers, that operation is complete. So that's the way it was shown to me as of last night or into this morning, whatever, because there was some other places that they had to blast early morning last night. I was remote viewing those too. It was different places around the world. But that was the big one. Okay. So that operation is done, which is also why Trump launched his channel to your phone. So because it's really about to go down now. It's really, really about to go down now. The Durham report's going to come out. Yeah. So a lot's about to, shit's really hitting the fan. They wanted to rescue as many people as they possibly could, shut down all their trafficking points. And the mission was completed last night into this morning. Mission completed as of today on that end. So now the other stuff is going to happen. This is why he launched that to your phone, because social media is going to go for a minute. So that's what's going on. So yeah, sign up, I suggest, so you can get the alerts on your phone. All right. QV out. Talk to you guys later. Bye.